Hey, what's up guys? My name is Elhammady and this is the Business Lounge. As promised in my last video, I'll be talking this week about the 7 secrets that truly successful people follow to lead that life of success and fulfillment. But first, we need to define what success means to you because obviously it has different meanings to different people. For some, it could be where you stand financially. Maybe you have more money than you know what to do with, and for you, that means you made it. Or maybe you're a championship athlete or your physique's at a level that you never thought possible, and that's the ultimate success. Or it could be your family that you've been dreaming of having since God knows when, and you finally have that healthy, happy, beautiful family, and that's all you need to feel like you're on top of the world. But let me tell you something, if you're only measuring your success by looking at one aspect or element of your life, you'd be doing yourself a disservice, and I'll tell you why. The truly highly successful people in life are always working on themselves and constantly measuring themselves on 7 key elements in their lives, and they're the exact same 7 elements that you and I should be focusing on in our own life. So, what are these 7 key elements? They're their health, their family, their social aspect, their financial standing, their business career or side hustle, their civic duties in life, and last but not least, it's their spiritual side. And we should always be trying to find a balance between all of these different elements in the hopes of living a healthier and more fulfilling lifestyle. Now, having said that, there will be a time in all of our lives, whether you're a business leader or a business owner, where you're gonna be out of balance. And in specific, I'm talking about that work-life balance. Now, I know we may be working too many 80-hour work weeks in a row, and we're definitely feeling the side effects of that kind of a commitment, but therein lies the crucial question. What are we gonna do about it? I found that the greatest CEOs are always trying to find balance in their lives, and that's actually what makes them great leaders and good people. Now, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be a time in your lives where you're gonna have to put yourself out of balance. Let's say, for example, you're in the middle of buying or selling a business, and it doesn't have to be this big conglomerate, it could be a simple Shopify website or anything like that. Now, you know going into that transaction that you're gonna be out of balance. But the trick here is to know exactly what it is that you're sacrificing in that bargain, and as soon as that deal is done, you have to have a plan in place for you to be able to get back into balance as soon as possible. So, what's the big secret of these great CEOs and successful people in life? They're literally measuring themselves on a scale from 1 to 10 on all these different elements in their lives, where a 0 is obviously completely out of whack, and 10 would be Zen-like balance. Now, I personally have never met anyone that scored a perfect 10 in all of these different areas, so a more reasonable or realistic goal for you would be to try to find balance in at least half of them. Now, let's go ahead and dive into each one of these a little more so you can get a better idea of what it is that I'm talking about. So, the first aspect you should try to find balance with in your life is your health. Whether you're a CEO or a hardworking employee, it's really easy to forget things like exercise and diet, especially when things get really busy in the office, right? But remember guys, that's the only body that you're gonna get, and it needs to carry you until the end of the game. That's why it's absolutely critical that you continue to keep your body strong and healthy enough that you're gonna be able to do the things that excite you, whether that's traveling for fun or for business or visiting your grandkids. The key here is to be fit enough that you don't have to say no to any of the things that you wanna do. So go ahead and give yourself a score here and be honest. Is this maybe one of the areas that you can start to work on to try to find that balance in your life? Only you can answer that question honestly. Alright, the next thing successful people measure themselves on is their family. How balanced do you feel with your family time? What's your relationship like with your spouse? What's it like with your kids? How about your parents and extended family members? Family ties are the tightest relationships you should have in your life, no matter how busy things get at work. If you give yourself a low score here, it's probably worth hitting that pause button to make the investment in repairing these relationships. Family ties are the tightest support system that you will ever have, and you'll never miss them more than when you're at your lowest point. And if any of you have ever experienced something like this, you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about, so don't take this one lightly. Next on this list is the social aspect of your life. How robust is your network of friends? Do you have a group of folks that are like you and that you like to hang out with regularly? I don't know, maybe for a book club or you go to play soccer together. If not, it's time for you to start building these kinds of relationships. Having people around you that are like you and that you like and trust is one of the best indicators of living a long life. So if you're sacrificing relationships like these because you're working too hard, you're clearly not in balance and you need to go ahead and reevaluate that part of your life. Okay, moving on. Number 4 on this list is the financial aspect of your life. What does your personal finance balance sheet look like? Are you on a path to accumulating enough wealth that you're going to be able to enjoy a comfortable retirement? Are your assets increasing over time, or have you neglected to take time to tend to your financial garden? Remember guys, the key to true personal financial health is for you to feel like you're in control and know that you have enough money to have options. So go ahead and give yourself a score here, because if you're working too much and you don't have enough money that you want or need, clearly something is missing in that equation and you need to go back to the drawing board. Number 5 is the business aspect of your life. Whether you're running your own business or climbing up the corporate ladder, you need to ask yourself, how energized are you to go into work every single day? Are you excited to be making a difference and making progress, or do you dread the monotony of your day-to-day drag? Or if you own the business, how are things going? Are revenues and profits growing? Some of us who are high achievers might never give ourselves a perfect score here, but it might be worth measuring exactly how much the time you're investing in your work is actually paying off. The next thing on this list is your civic duties in life. What I'm talking about here is how much time are you able to invest in the things that you care about in your community. That can mean anything from volunteering to serving on the PTA or coaching a sports team. Anything that turns you on when you give from yourself. I want you to think of it as your attitude of gratitude. If you haven't made enough time to give back, you really don't know what you're missing out on, because it's a real emotional payback, because you're rewarded by the act of giving. Now remember, the key here isn't just signing checks. Talent and time are the true gifts. So if you haven't done this yet, please go out and see how it is that you can improve your community, because I promise you, as soon as you do it once, you're going to want to do it over and over again. The last thing on this list of things you should measure your success on is the spiritual aspect of your life. I honestly feel like it's one of the more important aspects of my life. Now, I'm not here to preach to you or tell you what religion it is that you need to follow. That's not what we do here. This could be anything from you taking a walk in the woods to visiting your local mosque for one of your 5 daily prayers or going to church on Sunday. Whatever fills your spiritual cup. This is how we renew ourselves, especially when we're feeling down, and unfortunately, it's something that a lot of people seem to neglect these days. So go ahead and give yourself a score here, but if you find that score to be a little lower than you expected, you might want to rethink your connection with God or nature or whatever it is. And I promise you, as soon as you do it, guys, you're going to feel rejuvenated and energized and feel like you can take on the world. So definitely don't take this one on lightly. So like I said earlier, finding that balance between all of these different areas in your life is not an easy thing. But before I end this video, I want to share with you a cautionary tale of what can happen when you find your life out of balance for too long and you do nothing about it. So this was about 15 years ago, early on in my career. I was a car salesman for a Ford dealership in Miami, Florida, and I worked for the CEO, who was a business superstar. I mean, everyone in the industry absolutely loved him, they looked up to him, and just wanted to be like him. But everyone else absolutely loathed this guy. I mean, he really had no friends. His kids wanted nothing to do with him. At the time, he was on his 3rd wife. I believe now he's on his 4th. And spiritually, the guy was bankrupt. Now, I personally know a lot of people that actually looked up to this guy and thought he had everything together and that he could do nothing wrong. But I would disagree. I don't understand how anyone could be a great leader if they can't even have that balance in their own lives. Because when someone lives such an unbalanced life, no one really wins. And I really hope that you guys remember this. Alright guys, that's the end of our video today. Thank you for sticking to the end of it. I know that's time that you're never getting back, so I really do appreciate it. Next week, I'm thinking of starting to put out a video series on investing and investing for beginners. So if that's something you're interested in hearing or learning about, be sure to tune in for that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. And if you found value in this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Otherwise, YouTube won't share it with more people that need to hear this. So your support really means a lot to me. Last but not least, also make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when we put out another video. Alright guys, until my next video, you take care and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.